I don't like this job. I'm gonna quit and go to the next one. Oh, well, I don't got rent. I'm gonna just use her money for rent. Like I've seen that happen
Callie,
a lot.
there's no way that she didn't see that type of personality trait or that type of decision making early on in the relationship. That's a person who doesn't stick hardcore to their decisions. That
But
didn't show up overnight. That did
but
not show up
but
overnight.
then
I'm
you have
telling
to
you.
mix
And it's your
achievement.
friend. That's your friend. So you're hearing one side of what's going on, and because you love her and you have a
Mhm,
relationship with her and you trust her,
mhm,
you're hearing one side of it. I'm telling you, that's not.
mhm.
She saw something in that neighborhood before it got to that point. There's no way.
So
I
then, so then
I
at what point
disagree. I
does she?
disagree because I think that what you guys often do on this platform.
Unless it's depression. But go ahead.
No, no, no. I disagree because some men are just flat out lazy. They flat out mothers didn't have fathers. They don't know how to support and don't know when
Aisha,
to
I
support
didn't say what
family.
she said was a lie. I said she saw that before she got married, is what I'm saying. Of course there's men like that. But I'm saying that didn't just pop up. That trait of not having a sense of responsibility to take care of your family, or not feeling like it's that important to you, or feeling like you can just walk away and, oh, she got it. That type of decision making as a man, that didn't just happen overnight. Unless, that's why Sweeney asked, was there an injury or it's some type of mental illness or depression? If it's not those three things, then that was who he was
Yeah.
way before it got that bad, is what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
But my
Or
thing
like,
is, if that's who he was, then I feel like black men have once again failed black men, right? And I feel like
Who
y'all
said he
kind
was
of,
black? Who said he was black?
we just saying, I'm just saying, because it's
Allie
black men.
is Asian.
I deal with black men.
She didn't give a
And
race. Why you did that? That was
Ellie they
messed
black
up, Aisha.
men. Don't play with it. Don't play with
but
it.
why would you
But
assume that that was a
she said
black
her
man?
friend. Who
I'm
said that
speaking
all her
for
friends
me.
black?
I'm speaking for me. I wasn't
But
speaking
you
for
just
you.
said black men though. Who said she was talking about a black man?
I am. I'm talking about
Okay.
me.
But even if that was the case, that was a black man that became a lazy ass bum in his household. How is that an indictment on how we failed? We didn't fail, he failed.
It's too many. It
Like,
happens too often. I hear this story, like Allie, I hear this story all the time. This isn't like something that we don't hear all the time. We hear this story constantly.
And here's
And
the
I
thing.
went to the grade school with all white people, and they going and their stories just like that, y'all. We gotta stop beating up on our own race so much. Like, a lot of this stuff isn't black and white. Some of this stuff is just man and woman. Some of it actually is. And I have friends who got married straight out of high school or got married down the line who are now divorced, and they are tell the story, oh, it was her, oh, it was him. It's some of the same stories. We gotta stop beating down our own race. We have to,
I'm
because
specifically speaking for black men, and I'm gonna continue to hold black men and women accountable. So
not to
I can
but
only
mention,
speak I can only speak for
specifically said
my
it's a
specific
black man trait just now, Aisha. You just said it was a black man problem.
I can
That's
cause
why I just
that's
said
who
what I
I'm
said.
around all the time, and those are all my life
So,
experiences.
so
So I'm
answer this question, Alicia. Answer
specifically
this.
But
speaking for
so
black
that's the
men
point. If
because
you're
I
not
see it
around any
very,
other
very
race, you
often,
can't.
and I'm not
But
going to pretend
Aisha,
like it doesn't happen. And I feel like y'all do
If
that a
you're
lot on
not
this panel.
around other races of people, how can you say it's a black male problem if you
I'm
don't have
around
other
other
races to
races of
compare it
people
to?
all the time.
You just said you're
But
only around black people.
my experiences have been with black men. I'm around other races, so yes, I do have different perspectives, right? I do.
Okay, okay.
But I'm just saying specifically the men that I deal with. I only date black guys. So the men that I deal with, right? And I feel like like Ellie's saying, it's like y'all just want to overlook it. Like somehow this is the woman fault again for choosing wrong. And it's like you're telling me that I'm choosing wrong when I chose this man when I was 14. Okay. So how am I choosing wrong in 14? Like
you can't make a
You
bad
can
choice
definitely
at
make a
14.
wrong choice at 14. I'm
no, no, no.
confused.
But you can't expect for people to be at their full potential at 14, right? You can't. That to me, that's not a sound. When it comes to emotional teenagers, I'm raising one, right? It's a totally different ball game on their decision making. Like that was not the best decision I ever made in my life. But I look back now, I was like, oh, I chose him when I was 14. So the things that I would have seen then, that I see now, I didn't see then. I was like,
So,
he cute and he's popular.
are you saying that? All right, let me put it this way, right? because I know we like to have this conversation as if this is only a thing that marriages and relationships only break down because men fuck up, right?
No, I didn't say that.
No, I'm saying
No,
this is how the
I didn't say that
conversation
either.
sounds. I didn't say that any of y'all said this. I said this is kind of how the conversation tends
It
to
does. It does.
trend in that direction, right? I would accept your premise, Aisha, that it is our failure to for that black man to be that way, right? Have you ever been in a space with a bunch of men? Have you heard what they had to say about the women that they encounter? Would you make the argument that it's an indictment on y'all that y'all are a failure to the community because y'all don't know how to get those women in line?
I say all the time that women don't hold other women accountable. I've seen it happen a million times on this channel.
So, and like I said, I'm willing to accept that we need to hold them, but y'all have to understand that it's another person on the other side of that. And oftentimes we hear one-sided stories. And sometimes you just got just walk into a room of men and y'all hear that and it doesn't matter the race. You go amongst men and you hear our grievances with the women that we encounter. Sometimes it's the women that lead us to financial ruin. How many men have heard complain about how their wives overspend? Even though they know they don't have the money. She wants what she wants. And he's like, we can't afford that. And she wants it anyway. Or how many times have I heard that these two people have been working their entire lives right alongside each other, and one day she elects to quit her job because I'm not supposed to be in that role, even though that's what they agreed upon. How many times have I heard stories where women have complained about the man working too much, but him working too much is directly in alignment with the finances that they have in the house. And then she says, I need you. You work too much for me. I need you at home. And then he's at home more, but her spending habits stay the same. And then she complains that they can't spend the same amount of money. And he has to let her know, look, either you need me, either I'm home and we have to cut back on our life, or I go to work and you can still take advantage of the things that I put in place for you. How many women have I known that walked away from a man because of that? How many women do I know? How many men have I heard complain about the fact that she's unappreciative? That she only see things through her lens, that is all her, all the work that she does, and then she discounts everything that he does. This is why I said that I always say that when marriages fall apart, it's tend to be 50. As far as all marriages, it's normally 50-50. We do to one another. But oftentimes we have these conversations as if the only person in the relationship, in these relationships, that's fucking up is always the man. Or most of the time it's the man. And it's just simply not true. Oftentimes your homegirl will come to, for example, Ali, your homegirl will come to you and tell you every damn thing he done did wrong.
Actually, I was sorry. I was going to add context to that. They had been together a very long time, and she submitted to her man for such a long time because she was so mentally submitting to him that she didn't say anything. She didn't have an echo chamber to talk about the things that were going on. And then she stayed for so many years because she's overly submitted. I don't know if that's even a thing.
Submission doesn't require you to be a doormat or a rug or a mute.
But
it doesn't require that.
But
and that's why I don't know.
She's got to take ownership for that. She has to take ownership for that.
But
we don't have to be meek and mild to submit. There's that meek and mild woman with a mouth closed. I don't equate that to submission within a relationship or a marriage. I don't.